What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode. We are back. We've been gone for a couple of weeks, and we are semi-back. We're on Zoom because our schedules just can't get together. So, today episode, we're talking about the football coach who got shot and killed in Texas, which has been reported by Jeremy. Oh, I am here, and they are they. So introduce yourselves so that we can go.
I'm Ramsey.
We can't act like we sleepy.
That's Journey. That's Jeremy.
I thought he was going first.
She did.
I did. Oh, well, I'm everybody's favorite producer. I said Retro, aka Jeremy Brown.
That's a whole bio. Like, this is not an autobiography of Jeremy.
All right. So apparently, some parents got upset. It got heated at a football game, a kids' football game, and somebody, I don't know who, I saw the video, but well, they said it was an ex-NFL's brother, shot and killed the coach. So this is where we are, y'all. How are y'all feeling about these things happening like at a kids game?
You want to go first, Jeremy, on this subject?
Yeah, I started.
My train of thought is kind of all over the place because it's sad. It's sad and crazy that y'all are even doing this at a little league's football game. You're basically teaching your kids that violence is okay. And to solve every situation or every dispute or every argument is to go to violence. Is to go the route of violence to let everybody know, like, you're that person, you're that guy, you're that girl, and that's not the route. So it's just it's crazy. It's sad because now you think like we're in 2022 and things like this wouldn't be happening, but in reality they are, and possibly even worse. These are things that you see in movies, and now they're happening in real life, and you're like, wow, this is crazy. So my prayers go out to the families, and I know it's scary to be in that situation because it's like you're just going to a football game, a little kid's football game at that. Like, it's just sad to even talk about.
You don't have to cry, Jeremy. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh God, the whole situation. Well, I didn't even know anything about the situation prior, but but it is really sad that a simple argument, like, it escalated into somebody dying. Then, out of all places, like a kids football game, like what if the bullet like didn't hit the guy and it hit somebody's child?
I didn't even think of that.
That's something you don't even want to think about.
Damn.
All of this just because a simple argument, and it's not worth somebody losing their life. Like I said, like that bullet could have hit anyone. stop the violence, stop acting ghetto at football games.
What was the? I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeremy. Go ahead, my bad.
I think that was the end. He had did his slogan at the end: "Stop the violence."
I was about to ask, what were they arguing over?
Probably the game.
Yeah, they were arguing over, I think, a play in the game because they said it was the refs and the coaches, and they were arguing over a play, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that he was even aiming at the coach. He probably was aiming at one of the refs because that's who he was arguing with.
And the coach died, right?
Yeah, the coach died. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that can play out about it. Either he was just aiming at the ref and the coach was just in the way of the bullet, or he really wanted to kill the coach. Because either way, if you shoot a gun at somebody, you're shooting to kill them, not to injure them.
That's another thing too. Like, you gotta learn how to not let situations get you to a point where you lose self-control. Because once self-control is lost, it's game over. But in a situation like that, why would you even go to violence? Why would you even pull out a gun? And you are arguing over a play at a Little League football game. This is not even the NFL. This is Little League. So you got arguing over some little kids who barely even know their ABCs, who don't even know what a play is. Like, but just putting that into their perspective, like, nowadays you really just really have to be careful of where you're going, like what's going on in your surroundings, because anything can pop off at any time regardless.
My question though is the game really that serious?
It's not.
Like, I'm trying to understand. I know things get heated when we're playing anything, but it's like, I'm really that mad that I'm gonna pull out a gun and just shoot. Like, why?
Now, yeah, like you said, like like Monte, like both of y'all said, it's literally a Little League game. So like I don't know what age group it was because they usually do it in age groups, but still, like because I played, I used to play Little League. I suck, but I played. I'm good now, but back then, nah, I couldn't play. But I seen heated arguments and I seen coaches go back and forth, but I feel like they knew like I'm not finna. What y'all?
Oh, keep going.
But yeah, they would get in heated arguments and stuff, but they would never think about, oh, I'm finna put like little kids' life in danger over a play or a flag or a bad call.
So, right.
Because simply, if it was like a bad call, either way, they probably was gonna get the ball back anyway.
I could care less. I could care less about all of that. These are little kids. So I'm just reading it now. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just reading it now. So this was the age group of kids under 9.
Yeah, 8.
and the coach's son was there. His 9-year-old son was there playing on one of the teams. So he was killed right in front of his son. So now his 9-year-old son has to live with it.
And that's another thing to look into, is just like how people don't think before they do things. Like the man, he probably wasn't even thinking. He probably was just so angry about whatever it was that he couldn't get his way. So he reacted to the situation, or he reacted to the problem. And he was like, to make the pain go away, he resolved it. He found a way to resolve the problem, but resolving the problem, now you created another major problem.
So did he even have a child out there? Because he is an ex NFL star's brother. So maybe he knows about the game and all of that stuff. But I don't see anywhere where he had a child out there.
Was he coaching? Was he a coach, or he was just out there?
No, he was just out there. Unless he knew somebody, a
They
family member.
probably,
So I wonder if he had like personal beef with the coach.
But why bring it to the game though?
He saw him, he pulled up, that's his shot. That was his chance. He may never get that again.
Well, we don't.
Well, he ain't ever gonna get it again because he locked up, but and the other person's dead, but never mind.
But anyway, these are we don't. You're right though. We and I can say we because we've all done crazy stuff. Not that crazy, not that crazy, but I'm
Let's
saying
make it
like,
clear, please.
I'm saying like we've done stuff uh in front of people that we later regret it. But like these are kids that he did it in front of, and he could care less about who was watching that. Who that's not even going to terrorize the son, but every kid that was out there saw somebody get shot and die.
Them kids never playing football ever again.
You think they'll stop playing football?
It depends on how traumatizing it was. Each kid has a different like level of I don't want to say pain, but I guess a level of being traumatized, whether or not, do they fully understand what happened? Um, where were they when it happened? What was going on? Was they standing like right next to the coach when it happened? It's gonna be like everybody's gonna have a different experience with it. Because you may have a kid who's all the way at the end of the field who probably just heard a shot and doesn't know what's going on. Or you may have a kid who's literally standing right next to the coach, and that could have been him. So, and it's scary to think of it that way, but it's just nowadays you got to teach your kids safety for every position that they're in, whether they're outside, inside of a school, inside of a church.
So I got a question for you both. How would you, or do you know how you would handle that situation if you were out there? What would you do if you had your younger, because both of you have younger siblings, you took your younger siblings, they were playing that day, and that happened. How would you react for you and for your younger brother?
you want to go first, Monty, or you want me to go first?
Okay, you can go first.
First thing I'm doing is snatching my little brother. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. Yeah, and make sure he gets out of harm's way.
You said make sure he what?
Gets out of harm's way.
Oh, okay.
He trying to be so politically correct.
Uh,
No,
don't piss me off, Johnny.
got it.
Monty, what are your thoughts about it?
I agree with you on the first move of finding my younger sibling and making sure they're at least by me, or I can see them in my perspective as everything is happening. And then two, I don't know how I would act in that situation, whether I'll be scared and just go home or try to confront the person, or figure out like what was the issue of why did you do that.
I ain't doing that.
Really,
I ain't.
you really, in your thinking, that would probably be one of your scenarios to go up to that person.
I don't know. Nah, I'm probably scared, so I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I know. But I'm not necessarily saying go up to the person. I'm just saying like stay around the scene and figure out like what happened.
Be nosy.
Basically, yes. Yeah.
uh,
Hold on, I'm coming right back. I need to.
but prayers go out to the family.
Mhm.
That was the coach, and man, I'm praying for that son because he's going to be going through that for a couple of years. If not, do you think that he's going to need therapy, or do we even believe in therapy?
Oh. Um, I think for his age, he's going to need it. He's going to need it. And for people like black people believing in therapy, for a situation like that, a kid's going to need it regardless, no matter what you believe in.
Yeah, because I think we talked about it before about therapy and black people needing therapy or going to therapy. Um, but I really think that's good to go to therapy when stuff like that happens. But it is strong that he's going to need to talk to somebody
Yeah.
other than people in his family because I can see him. He's 9. Um, he's going to go through various stages. Like he's going to be quiet. They're going to have to watch him because he was right there and he saw it. So.
I think also, the little kid. Now, depending on where the child was when the situation happened, the kid may think that it was his fault.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Because sometimes kids have a
But
like,
how though?
oh,
How though?
like maybe if I would have never chose the sport of football, they'll try to make it seem as if any or everything, like no matter what it was, some way somehow it was still their fault, and that's a struggle that a lot of kids go through, and you really just have to tell them it's not your fault. Like you had nothing to do with that. Just because you were there and it was your football game, did you pull the trigger? It's like you gotta walk them through actually realizing like it's not your fault, like everything's gonna be okay and stuff like that.
So you think kids like hold on to stuff like that, especially if their parent is like at a higher archy or something like that? Like he knew his dad was a coach, so I'm sure he's seen people cuss his dad out and a lot of things like that. Do you think kids like that have to deal with parents who are on a higher level like that, coach, teacher, stuff like that?
Yeah. Yes.
So they're holding on to all of that?
Sometimes they will. It depends on the kid. You know, I work with kids on a day-to-day basis. They all have their own problems. But as you get to talk to them more, get to know them more, you just really like look at them and say, like, sometimes you have to tell them like certain things that happen in school or certain things that's going on at home is not your fault. Like you're there, you're a bystander, but you're not causing the problem. You're not even, or maybe like say if like a parent is getting into an argument over the kid and the kid's probably thinking, dang, if I was never here, my parents wouldn't be arguing. No, your parents are going to always argue whether or not you weren't here or not. They were probably arguing before you were even born. But just because you're here, you're the topic of the situation, but you're not causing the problem. They're making this problem up on their own self. So you just have to explain it.
Okay. I can go along with that. Because when my parents would get divorced, they would tell me, this is not your fault. I mean, I know it wasn't my fault because I ain't got nothing to do with what y'all deal with. But of course, I was a different child from somebody else dealing with that. They might be holding on to that, thinking that it's their fault. So I can agree with that. All right. Jeremy, you got something else to close this out? Okay. All right, so prayers go out to the families that is affected by this. All of the kids who have to deal with this, especially the son. And man, we got to do better. We don't have to kill people. Like, really. Like, I know things can be hard, can be rough. We get angry. Yes, that's our human nature to get angry. But there are other ways to handle our anger other than killing somebody. All right, so we thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode. I believe this is number 15 because the past two have been throwbacks. And we're running out of throwbacks, so we got to get this far rolling. Because the other episodes I can't really air on this channel. So we're going to get back. We're going to find a schedule, y'all, so that we can get this recorded, get it on the channel so that we can be good to go. All right? We didn't want y'all to think that we threw Jeremy away because the past weeks have just been me and Ronnie.
We didn't throw Jeremy away. He's still here.
So everybody that has been looking for him, which they haven't, he's right there. All right. So we're still looking forward to the basketball challenge that I'm going to, of course, win. I brought to Monty's attention something that we did not do on the other channel, which was the cooking tutorial or something that we're going to probably try to do. So look out for that. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. All right, we're out.
Peace.